The wind grew in force. It hummed and whistled. Usha did not have to fight against it. It was behind her now and helped her along up the steep path onto the brow of the hill. There was another flash of lightning, followed by a peal of thunder. The runes loomed up before her, grim and forbidding. So poor Usha, she is trying to make her way up. See? Yeah. Usha knew there was a corner where a piece of old roof had remained. That would give some shelter. It would be better than trying to go on. In the dark, in this howling wind, she had only to stray off the path to go over a rocky cliff edge. Whoo! 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 Howled the wind. Usha saw the wild plum tree swaying, bent double, its foliage thrashing against the ground. The broken walls did little to stop the wind. She found a way into the abandoned building, held by her memory of the place and the constant flicker of lightning. She began moving along the wall, hoping to reach the sheltered corner. She placed her hands flat against the stones and sidled sideways. Her hand touched something soft and furry. She gave a startled cry and took her hand away. Her cry was answered by another cry, half snarl, half screech, and something leapt away in the darkness. Imagine if this happens to you. It was only a wild cat. Usha realized this when she heard it. The cat lived in the ruins, and she would often see it. But for a moment, she had been very frightened. Now she moved quickly along the wall until she heard the rain drumming on the remnant of the tin roof. Once under it, crouching in the corner, she found some shelter from the wind and the rain. Above her, the tin sheets groaned and clattered, as if they would sail away at any moment, but they were held down by a solid branch of a straggling old oak tree. Usha now remembered that across the empty room stood an old fireplace, and that there would be an alcove under the clock chimney. Perhaps it would be drier than it was in her corner. But she would not attempt to find it just now. She could lose her way altogether. So, this is how she cried. Her clothes were soaked and water streamed down from her long black hair to form a puddle at her feet. She stamped her feet to keep them warm. She thought she heard a faint cry. Was it that cat again? Or an owl? But the sound of the storm blotted out all other sounds. There had been no time to think of ghosts. But now that she was in one place, without any plans of venturing out any time soon, she remembered grandfather's story about the lightning blasted ruins. She hoped and prayed that lightning would not strike her while she took refuge there. Thunder boomed over the hills, and the lightning came quicker now, with only a few seconds between each burst. She's sitting here, poor Usha. And this is where she wanted to sit. Then there was a bigger flash than most, and for a second or two the entire room was lit up. A streak of blue sizzled along the floor of the building, in through one end and out of the other. Usha was staring straight ahead. As the opposite wall was illuminated, she saw, crouching in the disused fireplace, two small figures. They could only have been children. The ghostly figures looked up, staring back at Usha, and then everything was dark again. Usha's heart was in her mouth. She had seen without a shadow of doubt two ghostly creatures at the other side of the room, and she wasn't going to remain in that abandoned building a minute longer. She ran out of a corner towards the big gap in the wall through which she had entered. She was halfway across the open space when someone, fell against her. She stumbled, got up, and bumped into something again. She gave a frightened scream. Someone else screamed. And then there was a shout, a boy's shout. Usha instantly recognized the voice. Suresh! Usha! Binya! It's me! It's us! They fell into each other's arms, so surprised and relieved that all they could do was laugh and giggle and repeat each other's names. Then Usha said, I thought you were ghosts. We thought you were a ghost, said Suresh. Come back under the roof, said Usha. They huddled together in the corner, chattering excitedly. When it grew dark, we came looking for you, said Binya. And then the storm broke. Shall we run back together? Asked Usha. I don't want to stay here any longer. See, all of them are huddling. 3 of them. We'll have to wait, said Binya. The path has fallen away at one place. It won't be safe in the dark, in all this rain. Then we may have to wait till morning, said Suresh. And I'm feeling hungry. The wind and rain continued, and so did the thunder and lightning. But the 3 were not afraid now. They gave each other warmth and confidence. Even the runes did not seem so forbidding. After an hour, the rain stopped, and although the wind continued to blow, it was now taking the clouds away, so that the thunder grew more distant. Then the wind too moved on, and all was silent. Towards dawn, the whistling thrush, it's a bird, began to sing. Its sweet broken notes flooded the rain-washed ruins with music. Let's go, said Usha. Come on, said Suresh, I'm hungry. As it grew lighter, they saw that the plum tree was standing upright again, although it had lost all its blossoms. They stood outside the ruins on the brow of the hill, watching the sky grow pink. A light breeze had sprung up. When they were some distance from the ruins, Usha looked back and said, Can you see something there, behind the wall? It's like a hand waving. I can't see anything, said Suresh. It's just the top of the plum tree, said Binya. They reached the path leading across the saddle of the hill. Goodbye, goodbye, voices on the wind. Who said goodbye? Asked Usha. Not I, said Suresh. Not I, said Binya. I heard someone calling. It's only the wind. Usha looked back at the ruins. The sun had come up and was touching the top of the walls. The leaves of the plum tree shone. The thrush sat there singing. Come on, said Suresh, I'm hungry. Goodbye, 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 Usha heard them calling. Or was it just the wind? So who was there? What do you think, children, who was there? Just, think about it. Was it the wind which was saying goodbye? Or was it the 2 children who had been killed 100 years ago in the lightning? Just think about it. And please, listen to the story, in the night as well. And try making some pictures and some, puppets of ghosts maybe. And try going out on a stormy night. Just listen to the pitter-patter of the raindrops on your tin roofs when the lights are all out. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you. See you again. Keep smiling, keep reading.